A New York City truck accident lawsuit can be worth millions of dollars. A truck accident is usually a very severe type of accident where the injury to the occupants of the motor vehicle, to a bicyclist, to a pedestrian, or anyone involved with a truck accident is very, very serious. A recent truck accident case we handled involved a driver of a vehicle where other vehicles hit the truck that was stopped in the middle of the highway, bounced off, and then hit our client who was driving his personal car. And he sustained serious injuries, including 2 back surgeries. We prepared the case, we litigated it, we had to go up against motions to dismiss, which we beat, and then we went to a mediation, and we were able to settle that case for $2.4 million because of the severity of the injury to our client, as well as being able to prove that the truck was at fault for stopping in the middle of the road, for not putting up flares or signs to notify other drivers of that hazard on a dark highway early one morning in the Bronx. So a truck case really, it could be worth a different amount of money depending on the type of injuries you sustain, as well as depending on the liability. But types of trucking cases that we've seen include a truck turning, and in turning, it's hard for the truck to stay within its lane, so it might be a sideswipe case where the truck moves over and hits another vehicle. Oftentimes, trucks can't brake immediately because of the braking mechanism, whether it's an air brake or another type of system that they have. So the truck needs more distance to brake, and if a car is in front of it or if a car changes lanes, the truck will rear-end another car, and that's a type of case that we've seen. Also, another type of catastrophic case is where a truck doesn't have that guardrails on the rear of the trailer or on the sides of the trailer. So because of that, if a truck stops short and another car is coming really fast, the car could actually go underneath the truck. That's called a truck underride. The car underrides the truck or the trailer. So those are very severe cases that are worth millions upon millions of dollars. And one of the available benefits with a truck, with most trucking companies, is the fact that there's usually sufficient insurance. Usually, if it's controlled by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Act, and if it's a trucking company, usually they'll have at least $1 million in insurance. Oftentimes they'll have excess and umbrella coverage, which is insurance above and beyond the initial limit. So we always ask for that in discovery when we litigate a trucking case. We'll get the disclosure of the primary policy being $1 million, and then we'll always ask for, is there any excess coverage? Is there any umbrella coverage? Is there any supplemental coverage or any other insurance in addition to the primary policy that you've previously disclosed? Sometimes we've had cases where the defense attorney and the insurance company will tell us, no, there's no other coverage, it's just $1 million, just $1 million. But then at the eve of trial, because we keep delving into the issue, we keep asking them, we get court orders where they have to tell us, and then if there really isn't any other coverage, we want affidavits from everybody. And then at the eve of trial, they say, oh, by the way, there's another excess policy here, it's $25 million more. Oh, thanks for telling us that. So you got to really be careful, because they don't want to tell you everything that they know. They want to minimize the case. They want to settle the case for as little money as they can. In fact, the bodily injury adjusters who work for the insurance companies get holiday bonuses for Christmas if they settle your case for less than it's worth. So you really need a lawyer who's going to take them to task and fight them every step of the way, who's not afraid, who's a real warrior, and is going to step into the courtroom armed with all of the evidence. That way, there's nowhere for them to run. Either they have to pay you what you're demanding and do a handshake and a release and a settlement for that amount, and if they don't, then you're going to take a verdict. And because the case is prepped correctly, because you have your truck safety experts, you have your liability experts, you have your orthopedist, your neurologist, all of your medical evidence, that verdict is going to be the same as the settlement amount, or maybe even higher. So you're really putting them in a corner, and that's what you should be doing if you have a serious truck accident matter.